We are Wrestle Club. Please do not try this at home, school, or anywhere.
There is heroes, and there is villains, and there is one place that they will battle it out, and that's in the squared circle. Whose side are you going to be on? I, James Grimm, is going to become the Tree City Giant, and I will cut them down. There is going to be one place that will hold this epic battle, and that's in Ontario, Oregon. On March 23rd and 24th at the Bordertown Comic-Con, I, the Tree City Giant, will cut them down.
In the ancient texts of Sumeria, we have descriptions of these beings descending from the sky called the Anunnaki.
Is everybody here excited? Who's seen us before? Anybody out here seen us Wrestle Club yet? Woo, it's good to hear. For those of you who are new to this, like I said, we have trained countless hours, so please do not try this at home. I will not take up too much time. Who's ready for some Wrestle Club? Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup is scheduled
Hello, Wrestle Club fans. Episode 7 is starting off hot. As we just heard, making his way out here is Nnuki, the Utah native. And as we just saw earlier, we saw that vignette. I believe Nnuki is going to have a transformation for us here today at Bordertown Comic-Con. I am G on the Solo Creep calling all the action here. We are in Ontario, Oregon. Here we see Nnuki. It looks like he is sporting some brand new gear here. Taking, I guess, one off the god known as Ra, as he has the Eye of Ra on his eye here. And I believe this is the evolution of Nnuki here at Idaho Wrestle Club. And Nnuki, the jackal of the Pacific Northwest. This guy is about 6'4", 215 pounds. A force to be reckoned with.
And introducing his opponent, he is from Boise, Idaho. He is the Green City Giant, James the Grimm.
And this opener is starting off hot because we have the big Tree City Giant, James Grimm, making his way out here. The Idaho native taking on the Utah native. And this is the very first time these two guys meet up. All the fans here, they are going to be pleased because for the very first time, James Grimm is going to be taking on Nnuki. Big Tree City Giant saying, let's cut him down. He's going to have his hands full here. This is March 23rd, 2019, here in Ontario, Oregon, Bordertown Comic-Con. And we are opening it up with James Grimm taking on Nnuki.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee for this match is Corey.
And our referee, Corey, good round of applause for him. He has been a rookie referee, but I tell you what, he is one of the best here in Idaho. And there you see the referee checking out Nnuki. And the belt has just rung here in Ontario, Oregon. Wrestle Club making their way out to a different state, and they only do so once a year. Big event for Wrestle Club, and it's a 2-day event for Idaho Wrestle Club. Here comes the big Tree City Giant, and here's a tie-up here. And there you see the strength and the power and the muscle mass of the big Tree City Giant, James Grimm.
Cut them down!
And here you see Nnuki saying, come on, let's get this sucker started. And here we have another tie-up here. Bright lights and all, big time action. And there you see Tree City Giant James Grimm taking Nnuki off his feet once again. And here's a tie-up, and there's an eye rake by Nnuki. And there's some clubs in the back wearing down the big Tree City Giant. And surprisingly, Nnuki throws James Grimm outside the ring. Illegal for sure. Referee is going to count here. Nnuki off that stage there. There's a double axe handle straight to the back. Oh God, throwing James Grimm to the seats there. James Grimm is billed at $2.99. It looked like he was weighing 200 pounds there as we saw those seats move about 3 inches backwards. Now hopefully we get an invite back. I guess we won't know until next year. James Grimm is literally taking his seat here in the opener. Referee should be counting here. But James Grimm has recovered here. Eyeballing the Nnuki here. Ooh, big mistake by James Grimm. He just went inside the ring knowing that his opponent was in the ring. Nnuki had him scouted, was looking at him, and hit him with that drop kick. And James Grimm is paying the price here as he ate that second turnbuckle. And Nnuki is on the outside here on the stage, and there is an enziguri straight on target, bullseye for Nnuki. Nnuki is on the second rope here, all or nothing, and there is nothing as he hit nothing, missing that senton bomb. James Grimm taking advantage of the big mistake by Nnuki. Going for that, another just hip toss there. Looked like a hip throw. There you see the power of James Grimm.
Come on, boss!
James Grimm taking his time here. Going for another throwing hip toss there. And what does James Grimm have in store here? He has to change it up. And there you see Nnuki hitting him right in the throat. And there's a single leg drop kick there by Nnuki. There you see Nnuki with his brand new gear there, representing, I would say, the Sumerian gods, the god of Ra. And here comes Nnuki, big splash there, but nobody home. James Grimm is still feeling those strikes by Nnuki, and James Grimm is repaying him with some elbows straight to the jaw there. And there is a very vicious chop by James Grimm. Nnuki blocking that, slugging it out with James Grimm. Nnuki with an axe kick there. And going for the corner whip, but James Grimm is the bigger man, holding on to that top rope. I mean, Nnuki did it earlier. Can he do it again? And there you see Nnuki just using all his power there to throw the big Tree City Giant across the ring. James Grimm across, catches Nnuki though. Oh, he just hit that Widowmaker, and this one could be said and done, and there's a 2, and that will be a 3 count. Referee Jorge says this one is over, and James Grimm victorious in the opener here. Bordertown Comic Con.
This match, G-Man wins the ring!
Both men here facing each other for the very first time, and I hope there will be a rematch. Because I tell you what, both of these guys had to feel anxious. How do you prepare for a matchup for the very first time? You got to study your opponent, got to know his every move. And James Grimm is going to leave victorious here as the Idaho native just beat the Utah native. And James Grimm making his way out here. And folks, do not change that dial or click that mouse in this matter, because we have more action on the way.
Even the dead have bad days. Good days, bad days. Today was a bad day. We will take that tree and we will chop it down to nothing but a stump. The dead will rise again like the son of Ra. We will cover the whole land. We will control all. Just like the sun, the land belongs to us. You can run from it, you can hide from it, but in the end, everything comes to the dead.
Well, folks, that was entertaining. What did you think of that, man? Hey, did you know that you can catch us every Friday night on Cable 1, or what is it? Cable 1, Channel 64. Sorry, got a little tongue-tied. Yeah, for more information, you can also find us on Facebook.com/Idaho Wrestle Club. Are we having fun yet? Are you folks ready for another match? I said, are you ready for another match? The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, weighing in at 200 pounds, he is from Nampa, Idaho. This is Theodoric Lionheart.
wasting no time as we are entering our second matchup, and one of my favorites, Theodoric Lionheart, making his way out here, the Lion of Wrestle Club. And I tell you what, his opponent has his hands full because this guy is searching for his prey. Standing ovation for Theodoric Lionheart, former two-time tag team champion, plus an out-of-state tag team champion, and he is a Lion that you do not want to mess with. And Wrestle Club, like I mentioned, only once a year do we go to Oregon, and this event actually made Pro Wrestling Illustrated. So go ahead and buy that magazine and check out all the results of Wrestle Club in Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
And introducing his opponent, he is from Ridgeland, California, weighing in at 235 pounds. This is Mr. Hickman!
Mr. Hickman just announced as his opponent, and this is not a main event, but this is a main event matchup because you're going to have Mr. Hickman taking on Theodoric Lionheart. This one is going to be crazy. And here comes the American Machine here, Mr. Hickman. And I'm not sure who I got for this one. This one could go either way, 50-50. I tell you what, it's going to end by somebody making a quick mistake. 1 second off the ball, and these guys are going to capitalize. And as we saw at the Kids Fair, Mr. Hickman actually took Theodoric to the locker room, and I gotta say, I don't know what was mentioned, but we have a matchup here. I believe Theodoric Lionheart said that Mr. Hickman came in 15 minutes too late and pretty much absorbed all the win, absorbed all the energy, absorbed the game plan that was already into play. So maybe Theodoric Lionheart is going to teach Mr. Hickman a lesson. And we're going to find out as the bell has just rung, and there is some friendship there. Good high five and a little bit of elbows. And we got a tie up here. Mr. Hickman showing the power. I mean, he is the muscle of Wrestle Club, and there you see him flexing. Theodoric Lionheart said, come on, let's get this going. This ain't a pose off. And here we have another tie-up. And here we have another tie-up. Theodoric Lionheart with that waist lock. And Mr. Hickman trying to find a way out. And there you see the power of Hickman reversing that into a waist lock of his own and picking up Theodoric Lionheart here, just deadlifting him. And the Lion with that side headlock applied here. Lion say nope, not today. Reverses it to a side headlock. And Mr. Hickman with that big shove off. Ooh, big shoulder block there. And Mr. Hickman looks like he's just looking at the fans here. And as you just heard the fans, the reaction, I think they just booed Mr. Hickman. Mr. Hickman here was going for that front suplex. Theodoric Lionheart using that back door and catching him with a drop kick to the back. Ooh. Mr. Hickman cutting him off real quick using that clothesline, and what is he doing there? It looks like Mr. Hickman is taunting the Lionheart here. I've never seen Mr. Hickman do that taunt before. Mr. Hickman straight off that corner with the short line clothesline to Theodoric Lionheart. And Mr. Hickman, I kind of feel there's a little change of attitude here. And Mr. Hickman looking at the fans here. Looks like he's going for a suplex. Theodoric caught him, reversed it. There's some straight up Lion paws. And there's a Pele kick to the kisser of Mr. Hickman. And Mr. Hickman making some mistakes. You don't taunt the Lion, especially in his own den. And here comes the Lionheart. Mr. Hickman recovered, and this could be a gorilla press. And then you see the power, the muscle of Mr. Hickman. And Hickman just looking at the fans here, kind of taunting the fans, and now he's taunting Theodoric Lionheart once again. It's like he's doing some sort of square, like he's, I don't know, like some sort of movie star or something. Mr. Hickman, nonetheless, with an Irish whip here. Theodoric Lionheart catching him with that swing blade. And Theodoric needed that one. And the Lion is cutting his prey down to size, going for the pinfall here. Referee Core saying that is a 2 count. And reconfirming that with Theodoric Lionheart. Both of these guys are a crowd favorite. One of my favorites for sure, but for some reason Mr. Hickman is kind of getting booed here. Maybe it's because it's Oregon, a different state, I'm not sure, but here comes the Lion Theodoric off that mid-rope, going for a cross body. Mr. Hickman catching him. And there you hear the boos. And then Hickman with that fall-away slam. And Theodoric Lionheart is taking all the damage here. And Mr. Hickman is, looks like he's trying to plead with the fans, saying he has a plan in his head. I'm not sure what his plan is. He's kind of been offset here as far as mentality-wise. I mean, he's bringing the action, he's bringing the pain, but something is off with Mr. Hickman. I've never seen this. And there's that whip to the corner. Theodoric Lionheart is in a bad place here. Nobody home for Mr. Hickman as the Lion is quick and fast, and he is furious. Hitting that other corner. Ooh, and there's an elbow, and that knocked Mr. Hickman down. That might have knocked him out. If that didn't, then that drop kick did, and he hit him so hard, you saw that corner post padding fall off. Theodoric Lionheart driving 100 miles per hour, and he don't care about the speeding tickets. Theodoric Lionheart is going up to the heavens here. Off that top rope. Oh, nails it. Senton bomb for sure. Nuclear bomb, senton bomb, that's going to cause destruction. And this one is said and done and over. 1, 2, 2.5. Mr. Hickman kicking out here. I'm surprised myself, but Theodoric Lionheart said that was 3. I thought that was 3. Referee Core saying, nope, that is 2. So this matchup is still going. And the Lion is sizing up his prey here. Looks like he was going for that code breaker. But Lionheart catching him with that clothesline. Elbow to the face. And the Lion going, oh. Looks like he was going for that code breaker, but Mr. Hickman countered and hit that pop-up spine buster. And nobody kicks out of that. This one is over. And Mr. Hickman taking off the gloves. Went for the pinfall. Wait a minute. He's punching Theodoric Lionheart. He should have gone for the pinfall here. This is a mistake. Here comes Mr. Hickman. Book of Ezekiel adding more insult to injury. This one is over. Pop-up spine buster is the said and done. Book of Ezekiel is the said and done. And Mr. Hickman is punching Theodoric Lionheart here. He should be going for the cover, and what is he doing? He's going on the outside here. Going underneath the ring, and that's a steel chair. What is he doing with the steel chair? And that is completely steel, as you just heard it. Echo off that apron. Oh, and there's a gut hit. That is a disqualification. What is Mr. Hickman doing? Oh my gosh. That is nasty in all sorts of ways. That's an echo all over the arena. Ring the bells. Get this guy off of him. This is assault. This guy should be charged with something. Sorry for Theodoric Lionheart. And he's going for another chair here. What is going up with Mr. Hickman? I do not know what is going on. Somebody needs to stop Mr. Hickman. And here comes out the champion. Mr. Hickman was going to assault Theodoric Lionheart once again with that steel chair. And the champion trying to knock some sense into Mr. Hickman, the lost man here. These guys are a tag team. And Mr. Hickman,
ladies and gentlemen,
looks like he's in awe.
As a result of a
He doesn't know what's going on. I'm not sure what Mr. Hickman is thinking. The champion here is saying, you just hit Theodoric Lionheart with the steel chair. I mean, these guys were tag teaming last week, and then Mr. Hickman just nails Theodoric Lionheart with the steel chair. What is going on with these three men, especially Mr. Hickman? So your winner is Theodoric Lionheart via disqualification, as Mr. Hickman has hit Theodoric Lionheart with the steel chair. And gosh, I hope that Theodoric Lionheart is able to walk tomorrow, because I tell you what, that is a 911 emergency dial. Somebody needs to go back there and check on Theodoric Lionheart, because I have never seen that type of punishment, that type of a steel chair shot. Surprised he wasn't convulsing after that one.
You know, as I said, each and every one of our shows is filmed and on Cable 1 Channel 64. As you can see, we have some good guys, we have some bad guys in the back.
Oh, hey, Theodoric. Ooh, that's pretty bad, buddy. I was just curious what you think about Mr. Hickman's actions tonight.
In 3 years, I've never had a more physically painful match. Emotionally, physically. For one of my best friends in Wrestle Club to do something like that, it's messed me up here, on my body. But I gotta focus on tomorrow, on Nnuki. I've got him in the ring. It's going to be me and him. I'm going to make it short and sweet because I'm feeling the effects of that last match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Riverside, California, weighing in at 238 pounds, he is King Marcus Anderson.
All hail the king if you want to, but my knees hurt, so I'm not going to be bowed down to the king, Marcus Anderson. Even if my knees didn't hurt, I don't think I would. But nonetheless, for all you fans out there, Marcus King Anderson, go ahead and kiss the floor, because I'm pretty sure the king is well deserving of it. King Marcus Anderson, former heavyweight champion, well-traveled, even international, the only international wrestler in Wrestle Club, as he has traveled overseas to Japan. This guy has been all over the Pacific Northwest. If you haven't heard of King Marcus Anderson, after this matchup, you will never forget his name.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, he is from La Grande, Florida. La Grande, boy. La Grande, weighing in at 185 pounds, he is the Livewire Eddie Vice.
And the Livewire Eddie Vice from La Grande, not La Grande. He does not work at a coffee shop. This guy is the front man of Kill Street Katie, and he's going to show you what his vocals are all about. Let's rock out.
Everybody's got their eyes, and he's the only one you need tonight. I'm rocking wrestling, just the way I sing. I'm rocking wrestling, I'm gonna bring it to
Vice. Sorry people, I had to walk out for a little bit there because I like this guy. Livewire Eddie Vice, he has all the charisma. He is the front man of Wrestle Club for sure. All rock and wrestling, he is a rarity in Wrestle Club. He is the headbanger, the mosher, the rock star. Eddie Vice here, and the bell has just rung, and we got, going for a time, Eddie Vice, Ducky the King, and he has that waistlock, and the King just doesn't seem pleased, reversing that to a waistlock of his own here, and obviously the King has that size advantage, the heavyweight of Wrestle Club, and Eddie Vice just wiggled his way out there, and he has the waistlock applied, the King overpowering Eddie Vice to another waistlock, and Eddie Vice going underneath the King, Marcus Anderson, outsmarting him for sure. And Eddie Vice with that waistlock, and I believe the King is stomping on his feet. Then we have another reversal, and the King taking down Eddie Vice with that waistlock takeover, transitioning to that front facelock. And he is cutting off the vocals, the wires of the live wire, Eddie Vice here. And Eddie Vice with some clubs there, pushing off the King. And the King taking that elbow, not off his feet yet. Here comes Eddie Vice. Double forearm maneuver there. And the King wisely leaves the ring here. Livewire Eddie Vice here. He's ready to rock and roll, but the King looks like he's taking a timeout here. Here comes Livewire Eddie Vice with that stage dive. King caught him. And Livewire Eddie Vice has just kissed the stage there. No stage dive there, but a stage kiss, and not the way you want it. And Eddie's head just rung off that apron there. The King taking control of the rookie Livewire Eddie Vice. And here comes the King. Hitting that delayed elbow there. Nicely done by the former heavyweight champion. And that's going to be a 2 count there. And Marcus King Anderson, well-traveled, well-known. And that's one of the reasons why right there. Nice suplex. Back in the 1970s, they call that a suplex. And the King is just clubbing his opponent here. There's another right hand. And the King whipping Eddie Vice in that corner. Here comes the King, Marcus Anderson, back elbow, laid it all in. Transitioning to a snapmare. And there is the perfect King snap. And the King going for the cover. Only a 2 count there. And he's looks like it's an abdominal stretch here. And he also has a side headlock there. Very nice maneuver by the King, Marcus Anderson. And I'm not sure if the Livewire is going to get out of this one, but the Livewire says, I'm still alive here in Ontario, Oregon. Pushing off the King. And there is a big boot by the King. And that stopped Livewire in his tracks. And the King, Marcus Anderson, taking advantage here. And you hear the fans saying Burger King. And I tell you what, the King does not like that whatsoever. Marcus Anderson with the whip. Eddie Vice reversing that. Catching him with the kitchen sink. Looks like he's going for that bulldog. And Marcus King Anderson counters with a deep 6. So deep, that went to the bottomless pit. Marcus King Anderson telling the fans here to shut up, as he doesn't appreciate the chance of Burger King But I tell you what, me as a fan, I surely do. Marcus King Anderson has the live wire in that corner, whipping Eddie Vice, going for that stage dive, nobody home. Eddie Vice with some back elbows, and then he finally hits the stage dive. Third time is the charm, and what is Cali's Best doing out here? That's Jay Cruz. He's not even supposed to be in this matchup, but looks like live wire Eddie Vice. It has that ripcord, might be going for the disco stunner, and the King Marcus Anderson counters. And there you see Jay Cruz with the right hand to the live wire, then feeding live wire Eddie Vice to Marcus King Anderson, and there's a super shock DDT, a royal crowning if you will, and nobody kicks out of that one. This one is over. Give the assist to Jay Cruz as Marcus King Anderson is victorious here. I'm not sure why Jay Cruz got involved in this matchup. He has no history with either of these two men. I mean, the only connection they got is they're both from California. And we see Marcus King Anderson just celebrating, absorbing his win in Ontario, Oregon. Eddie Vice, I believe he just got cheated out. I mean, Jay Cruz was not involved in this matchup. Cause a distraction. The King, all he needs is one split second. And next thing you know, you're down on the mat for 3. Marcus King Anderson victorious here, and the spotlight is on him because he is a superstar. And the live wire Eddie Vice is going to be going home with a loss. Unfortunately, in his own state of Oregon, he lost this one here. Very good match by the rookie, the live wire, Eddie Vice.
I don't know what happened there, folks. I apologize for that.
I don't know what happened either.
So, star of the night, knocked out the rock star. Hey, King, got your back, bro. Heard you from Riverside. California forever, bro. But speaking of Cali, hey, Mr. Hickman, I know you hear me. I got a video to show you when you want to see it. Hit me up, bro.
You know, I'm really sick and tired of some of these idiots, these rejects, these potato farmers, these Motley Crue rejects, all vying for the perfect prize, and that is to be the best in Wrestle Club. Nah, you don't get to pull that card with me. I am the best in Wrestle Club. I was the world's heavyweight champion for 1 year. I am an international superstar, and yet I have to get paired with potato farmers? No, that's not how this works. I am sick and tired of playing Patrick Holloway's stupid little games. I want a title shot. I want retribution. I want all the gold in Wrestle Club. You know what? Speaking of rejects, Outlaw, Rusty Livings, we have some unfinished business. I heard through the grapevine that you're supposed to be bringing your punk butt here to wow the crowd here in Ontario, Oregon. Well, I'm laying the gauntlet down. I am throwing you an opportunity at greatness. You, Rusty Outlaw Livings, versus the King, Marcus Anderson, for the Potato Bowl Championship. You better accept, because if you don't, you're going to let down every one of those people that you claim to defend, that you claim to represent. So, that being said, do you want it? Do you want a shot at greatness? We're done here.
Ontario, Oregon, Border Town Comic Con, March 23rd and the 24th. Your heavyweight champion, the Lost Soul, will be taking on the new #1 contender, Cali's Best, Jay Cruz. You see, I've seen a lot of people come and go, given the golden opportunity, given the golden egg, but their heat didn't hatch anything. But your title shot was well earned and well deserved, but your feet are still wet. So I'm gonna spread some knowledge, because to be on top is one thing, but to stay on top is a whole nother level, and that's where passion starts to kick in. and you want to grab this belt and throw it around like it's some prop? Do you know what this belt means to me? It's a company, and that company is Wrestle Club. And I don't count the number of days as champion. I count the number of opportunities that I get to entertain kids all over the state of Idaho, because tomorrow is never promised. And that is something that I learned 10 years ago. Cali's best, but you got no pride in your chest. Idaho in your esophagus, so I know you can't digest. We're too complex. I see you flex, but no need here. You're just another one living off my blood, sweat, and tears. Bordertown Comic-Con. Trust me, you're the one that don't want none.
Are you folks ready for the main event of the evening? Now for this match, I want you to be really, really loud. Let me hear you one more time on fire! The following matchup is the main event. Introducing first from California, weighing in at 225 pounds. He is Cali's best, Jay Cruz.
And here comes out Cali's best, Jay Cruz, as you hear the hydros pumping up and down. And you hear the band saying Cali's worst, but he is anything but that. This guy is Cali's best, and he earned his way here at Bordertown Comic-Con. He finds himself in the main event because he was victorious in that three-way elimination Falls Count Anywhere matchup at the Kids Fair, and this is why he is in the main event.
Legend, he wants me to bring out his opponent. All right, ask and you shall receive, my friend. Introducing his opponent, he is Wrestle Club Heavyweight Champion from Boise, Idaho, weighing in at 200 pounds. This is the Lost Soul Garibai.
And Cali's best is taking no time here. He says, bring out the champion, I'm ready. I got the best fist in Wrestle Club. Heavyweight title on the line, main event for episode number 7, Bordertown Comic-Con, day 1, March 23rd, and this one is for everything here. As we see the champion, Lost Soul, coming out, the strobe lights are strobing here, flickering and turning, flickering just like a heartbeat. And where is the champion? I'm not seeing him here. I can hear him, but I don't see him. Oh, there he is. It looks like he was using that back door and celebrating with the fans. Normally everybody comes out through that curtain, but not the champion. The champion here in Ontario, Oregon for Bordertown Comic-Con. Holding that belt for over a year here. And he has his hands full as he is taking on Cali's best, Jay Cruz. And this is the second time that these two match up.
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears that, hey, we maybe need a referee for this match. Introducing your referee for this match, the Madman!
And it looks like we got a surprise here as the Madman is going to be the official here in the main event. And as he should be. Madman taking off his t-shirt here, being the announcer and being the senior official of Wrestle Club. And he's showing Jay Cruz what it's all about. And it's all about the heavyweight title. And can Cali's best become Idaho's best? We are going to find out here, folks. As both men are checked and the bell has just rung. Main event time here in episode 7. And we might be leaving with the new heavyweight champion. And there was a knuckle tie up there. Heavyweight champion Ooh, size of strength, but Cali's best just pushing him off. Heavyweight champion has him in an armbar there, a rollover. Lost so with that key lock. And there you see Cali's best just punching the leg of the Lost Soul, and that's going to cause the champion to break that hold. And here we have a tie-up here. Champion with an arm wringer. Jay Cruz with that front roll, back roll, but the champion rolls right with him. Has that arm wringer still applied. And Cali's best reversing that arm wringer, and there's a slug straight to the gut. And those are the best hands in Wrestle Club, and that is the hands of Jay Cruz. And here we go again, knuckle tie-up. And there's a kick out by the champion, reversing it to an arm wringer, to a hammerlock, and switching it to a front face lock. And he has, I believe, a cobra hold. Nobody home for Jay Cruz as the champion ducked that line. Waistlock takeover, and there is waistlock takeover number 2. And this can be the trifecta, and 3 strikes, and Jay Cruz is out. Jay Cruz outside the ring here. And since this is a heavyweight champion, Jay Cruz does not want to be counted out. He wants to leave Ontario, Oregon with that belt. Jay Cruz, Jay Cruz with a quick jab to the kneecap of the Lost Soul.
What are you doing?
And there you see Jay Cruz just striking that left leg of the champion. And both men exchanging some rights and lefts. And Jay Cruz using that rope to his advantage. Might be dislocating a kneecap here, and referee Mattman just on Jay Cruz. And I tell you what, Mattman is so aggressive, but I tell you what, he calls it down the line. One of the best officials in the entire country. Jay Cruz whipping the champion there. Here comes Jay Cruz rolling clothesline, catching the Lost Soul, going for the cover. And that's a 2.9. And I tell you what, you better kick out when Mattman is on the mat here. I don't call him Mattman for nothing. Both guys exchanging rights and left. Here comes Jay Cruz, the Lost Soul, reversing that whip. Nobody home, the Lost Soul, and Jay Cruz going right back to that leg. And I tell you what, Jay Cruz, he's wrestling like he's been a veteran, coming off that rope. And what do we have in store? A delay elbow drop there by Cali's best. And that's going to be a 2 count there. Little cockiness by Cali's best, but what do you expect? He's from California. Jay Cruz tripping the Lost Soul to the mid-rope, and now he's choking him on the mid-rope. Mattman has a 4 count here, and Mattman taking off Jay Cruz there, and Mattman's not going to DQ Jay Cruz. And nobody home for Jay Cruz as he just tasted that mid-rope, and that's not the taste that you want. And here comes the Lost Soul with that back elbow and hitting him with the suplex there. Went for a quick cover, and that's a 2 count. And this match has been fast-paced, back and forth. Both men just really don't have time to breathe. And there you see the slugs of both men there. And there's a European uppercut by the champion. And it looks like the champion's going to try his luck with his fist here on the top rope. Everybody's counting here. 4. And then Jay Cruz just ducking that and going right back to that left leg. There you see a jab by Jay Cruz, and looks like the Lost Soul is just a punching bag at this point to Jay Cruz, pulling that hair there. This is illegal for sure. And Jay Cruz letting go at 4. I tell you what, Jay Cruz has the Lost Soul scouted. This has been quite the matchup since their first one. Jay Cruz with a stall leg drop, going for the cover. 2 count there. And Jay Cruz trying to confirm that it was a 2 count. Mattman says 2. Trust me, he knows how to count, Jay Cruz. Jay Cruz has the champion up here. And there's a wasteland. Jay Cruz off that rope. Nobody home for Jay Cruz, and the Lost Soul has an opening here as Jay Cruz missed that senton bomb. Champion, what does he have in store here? Looks like an inverted suplex there. Went for the cover, and that's a 2 count there. Both men have been taking quite the shots here. And speaking of shots, there's a right hand by Jay Cruz and a European by the Lost Soul. Quick jab by Jay Cruz. Uppercut by the Lost Soul. Jay Cruz going for that clothesline, nobody home. Lost Soul going for that clothesline, nobody home. And there's a double neck breaker by both men. And it looks like both men are down and out. That man counting here. This is a double down. If this goes to 10, the Lost Soul leaves as the champion. And we are up to 6, 7. Lost Soul on his knees here. Looks like he's going for that flatline. This one could be over. And Jay Cruz had him scouted. Went right back to that left leg. Big chop block by Jay Cruz, saying he is the next champ. And he might be, as he's going for that Cali TKO. And this could be lights out for the Lost Soul. Nobody home there. Lost Soul catching it, reversing it, holding on, hitting that flat line. 2. And this one is over as the Lost Soul countered that knockout. He caught him in midair and hit him with that flat line. And still, heavyweight champion is the Lost Soul, Garibai. And episode 7 has come to a conclusion.
The Lost Soul,
These guys were going back and forth 100 miles per hour. It looked like I was watching a game of ping pong. And wait a minute, here comes Mr. Hickman. What is he doing out here? Mr. Hickman getting the Lost Soul and hit him with a rock bottom. These guys are a tag team. These guys are the Lost Men. And what has Mr. Hickman done? What is going on here? He hits Theodoric Lionheart with the steel chair, hits his partner with the rock bottom, and then I think Kelly's Best just said, ask your sister. And Mr. Hickman is choking the Lost Soul here. Not done yet, and there is some right hands. Somebody needs to get out here, and oh my gosh, it's a whole locker room outside here. Clearing off Mr. Hickman off the heavyweight champion. I mean, Mr. Hickman has quite the night. He hit Theodoric Lionheart with the steel chair, then he comes out and assaults the heavyweight champion. Mr. Hickman has lost all his marbles. And we hear Matt Man saying, get him back. And the entire locker room is out here. I mean, Mr. Hickman, his behavior has been literally off the charts. I have not seen this type of behavior at all. What is he doing? And I think Mr. Hickman said I didn't do it. But obviously he did do it. I just saw with my own 2 eyes. He just hit the rock bottom on the heavyweight champion. I saw with my own eyes him hitting Theodoric with that steel chair, and I am not sure what's going on here. Mr. Hickman, there's something wrong. There's something going on. And honestly, he has not been the same this entire year since he came back. The American machine is disconnecting here, literally in front of our faces.
Did we have fun? Well, let me remind you to catch us on Friday nights on Cable 1, Channel 64. Also find us on Facebook.com/Idaho Wrestle Club. We will be back here again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you very much, Ontario. We'll see you tomorrow.
I am G, and I'm signing off for episode 7.
This is Mr. Hickman. I just want to address the fans for my actions that I committed during this event. I don't know what is going on. I've been constantly blacking out. I can't figure out what is wrong. I was told I hit someone with a chair. I lost my mind. And then my own partner, I went out and attacked him too. there's also a little bit of a story that somebody was saying to me about one of my family members and my own partner, and
Hey yo, Mr. Hickman, you get a chance. I got a video to show you, bro. Hey, I don't want no trouble, but us California boys gotta stick together. Hit me up.
So what happened?
I don't know. I keep telling you, I don't know what's going on.
How do you not know? Everybody in the locker room was out there, and you were saying who did this to me. Do you know that you actually hit me at the rock bottom?
I have no idea what happened.
Hey, what's up, guys? You know what? I've known you for, 3 years now, Hickman? I've known you for 8 years now.
Yeah.
What's going on with you two guys? I mean,
Ask the guy that gave me the rock bottom. He said that
rock bottom, a chair. What's going on?
I don't know. I keep telling everybody I don't know what is happening.
Do you even know that you hit Theodoric Lionheart with the chair?
I keep telling you I don't know. All I remember, I went out.
You were gonna hit him again, and I had to stop you.
What's going on, Hickman?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you guys anything. I just don't know.
I'm your tag partner.
I know that.
You've known him since day one.
I know.
How can you not tell us?
I don't know. I keep telling you. I can tell you 50 times. I can tell you 100 times. I can tell the fans 1,000 times. I don't know what is happening. I'm blacking out. That's it. I don't know.
You asked everybody who attacked me, but it was you. You know, Matt, man.
Yeah.
Since you're an official here, tomorrow, on Sunday, make it official. Me versus Hickman. Your actions. You're gonna have to pay for your actions. And tomorrow, it's gonna be payday.
All right, man. You got it.
You ain't got to be like that, man.
Come on.
I don't know what's going on.
I gotta figure it out, buddy.